what I got wrong was that I thought that, from my experience with other refractors, I would take off the coarse focuser here, and there would be a screw here where the shaft goes into and it attaches. But this one does not have one. So at first I thought maybe it was glued in because I could not pull it open, and I didn't want to force it too much since this is a loaner telescope, and I just assumed that I couldn't install one. But I didn't realize that there was actually, you have to look through this little hole here. It's really hard to see. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it on video, but I will try. The screw is actually, you can see the shaft there. Yes, it's really hard to see, but the screw is actually there. So I need to take the hex wrench and unhook this. So I'm going to do this. I'm not going to install an EAF today, but I'll do a really quick video later on how you would want to install that. I'm just going to find the, I need to actually look at it myself. I found one of them. There's two screws, more, and then, all right, and there's two, and then when I unscrew those, this comes off. So you can see the two screws right here that I needed to loosen, and it came out of there. And now I can install my EAF there. Again, I'm not going to install it now because I need to install this on another thing, but it would go in here. I would then, I need to adjust this a little bit, and then I would screw this in here and one over here, and this would be good to go. And if I had done this, I actually would have saved myself quite a bit of trouble, because before this reshoot, I mentioned that there's usually some sag on this based from the gravity of the camera, the weight of the camera, and it does move the fine focus a little bit. But if I had the EAF connected to this, it wouldn't have moved because the EAF locks everything into place. But when I do the image analysis, you'll also see that I do have some tilt in the imaging train, and I don't know if an EAF would have stopped that, especially because I have to put the focuser tube out almost all the way in order to achieve focus on the camera. I'm going to talk about the inability to screw on a camera here. So this here, it has, I'm going to pull this in. So this here has a 2-inch adapter with compression rings. So let's take this off. There we go, 2-inch adapter compression. There's no screws here. So normally what we actually do is we'd actually take this off as well. Yep, and then we'll screw the camera adapters or whatever in here. But as you can see, these are female threads. And most camera adapters, so I'll bring up the SVBONY 605 CC, you can see the adapters, these are also female threads, so you can't put it in here. The workaround for this is to get one of these. So this is an M48 to 2-inch nose piece. I used to use this for my DSLR, and this would go into the 2-inch barrel here, the 2-inch adapter here, and then you would use the compression rings. But this doesn't mean that you have a flat look through the telescopes. That's one of the reasons why I stopped using it. I like screwing it in whenever possible. So I started looking around to see if I have any adapters, and luckily, the camera adapters that come with the ASCAR 71F, this thing, it actually has an M54 to M48 adapter right here. So this actually screws in M54. These are both male threads, by the way. So male M54 to male M48 threads, and this is perfect. So I can screw this in, take this off, and then I can screw the camera in here, and that's basically what I had outside. But the only thing is, this is expecting like this amount of spacing between the telescope and the camera. So I ended up having to extend the focuser out all the way in order to achieve focus. Not only that, I had to actually, if you look here, I had to actually add an extra spacer there in order to achieve focus, because even going all the way up to like 70 millimeters, I just couldn't get focus. So adding the extra 21 millimeters did the trick. I'm going to talk a little bit about how this performed visually. So I had the chance to look at the moon through this. I was mostly hunting for chromatic aberrations, since this is an achromatic quadruplet somehow. And when I looked at the moon, there was some chroma that I was able to see, but the moon is just bright and big that you don't usually notice them. And compared to some of the other achromats I've used in the past, this one doesn't show it as much as you'd expect. And I tried taking some pictures through my phone through the eyepiece, and these are just some examples that I've gotten. The images that you see, they barely show any kind of chromatic aberrations, if any. But then I also pointed my astrocam at the moon while I was imaging with this during my live stream one of these weekends, and if you were there, you saw this as well. And in that stream, this is just a sample video that I took, and if we zoom into the top, once I process this image, you can clearly see some blue chromatic aberrations. This was exacerbated by my oversaturation of the processing, but I kind of wanted to see exactly what I saw visually, and that's pretty much what it looked like. And then when I looked